All right. We're going to go ahead and get started. Well, I think we've got almost everybody, but I think we'll have a few people probably trickling in, and that is okay. So for those of you I have not met, my name is Zach Fisher. I am the Popcorn Supreme Colonel for the Atlanta Area Council, which is a fancy term that I came up with for myself, so I feel it's deserved. But we want to be respectful of your time, so I'm going to go ahead and get things cranking through. But if you have questions, please do make sure that you're putting them in the chat. We'll be keeping an eye on that. I'll go ahead and start just by introducing some of the people you'll hear from, but I am sure that they will take the chance to introduce themselves as well. As I said, I'm Zach Fisher. I'm also, we have John Ingram on here, who's our product sales staff advisor and a field director with the Atlanta Area Council. Ryan Lundberg is our representative with Trails End, coming to us from Indiana. Nora Martinen is the Appalachian Trail District Colonel. Steve Bello is our Council Popcorn Colonel. We're very excited to have him on board. Tanya Parks is the Silver Comet District Colonel, and Cassie Dellinger is the Pickett's Mill District Colonel. So you'll be hearing from all of them. We're going to go ahead and get it started off with the one name that I skipped. I'm sorry, Samantha Cornegie, who is the District Colonel from Indian Springs District. And she's going to start by telling us a little bit about her experience with popcorn and what it's meant to her as Scouts.
Hi, so yes, my name is Samantha Cornegie, and I am the Indian Springs Popcorn Colonel. I've been the Popcorn Colonel in our pack for probably about 4 years. But we've been in our pack for a total of 8 years. We've got 3 Scouts, 2 boys, and a girl. And our boys have always sold popcorn. They're now in Boy Scouts, and our daughter is still in the pack. Popcorn for us has been basically, it has helped us out so much as far as with dues. So dues for all 5 of us, that's a lot. That's a lot of money for 5 of us. Our dues are always covered with our popcorn sales. We've never had to pay dues ever. We never have to pay extras. So camps, any kind of big trips that we go on, all of that's always covered. Anything that our boys do district-wise, that's always covered with our popcorn sales. I can't tell you the last time we paid for anything, just because we sell so much popcorn. 2 years ago, our daughter Zoe was the top seller in our pack. She was also the only girl to sell over $2,500 in the district, and she got an award for that, which was pretty cool. She got to go to Dave & Buster's, and she enjoyed all of that. But as far as our pack, so every year we do a popcorn kickoff, and we have parents stand up and kind of tell us about their experiences. And to hear some of those parents, that we have some that are single parents, and they never thought they would ever be able to do any of these extras for their kids because they just couldn't afford it. And to see them work so hard to sell this popcorn and earn all of that, earn that money for their Scouts, and for their Scouts to be able to do that, it's awesome. So popcorn means a lot to our family, means a lot to our pack. We love popcorn. So that's kind of my little inspiration. Everybody needs to sell popcorn. And up next is going to be Ryan Lundberg, and he's going to be doing the PowerPoints for the Trails End.
Great. Yes. Thank you so much for having me tonight, guys. Yep. Definitely from Indianapolis. I apologize. See a Home Depot box behind me. I am actively moving to a new house tomorrow. And John wouldn't let me change my background to like a beach or anything like that. So sorry you're looking at my mess. I have movers coming tomorrow at like 8 a.m. Anyway, a little personal note there, but why do we sell popcorn? So this year's going to be super interesting for the popcorn sale and challenging, right? With COVID-19 and everything that's going on. A lot of homegrown fundraisers just didn't happen because of social distancing and making sure scouts and scout families are safe. With that being said, too, camp cards didn't produce what it usually does because it happened right when COVID came. Well, hopefully, Trails End's invested in the technology to make fundraising safe at any type of level that you're willing to fundraise. Or it's in front of a store, which is about 75% of the sale, door to door, or to friends and family, or a new program called Online Direct, which I'll be speaking to. Why do we sell popcorn though? Over 73% return goes back to scouting, whether it's the council for camperships or for programs, or for the unit for your activities and your adventures. It funds, if done right, can fund an entire year of scouting. It also can develop scouts' character. I'm in the kind of mindset where I feel our youth don't hear no a lot. And with the popcorn, you all know you're selling popcorn that's very expensive. You have to convince the consumer that that donation is going to help your unit, help your council, and most importantly, help that scouts that making that question. They're not going to get 100% yeses, as you guys know. So they can overcome objections, and really, there's a lot of character development that goes on throughout it. And it improves camps and council resources. Since 1980, Trails End's helped scouting raise over $4 billion. So we've been around for a very long time, and we are one of the strongest partners with scouting ever. Go ahead. Okay, so popcorn's been around since the 1980s, right? Trails End's goal last year was to bring it to the 21st century. We built a new Trails End app. It was first developed 2 years ago, where it was beta tested, rolled out nationwide last year, and now this year we've made a ton of different improvements. So what is the Trails End app? So the biggest key benefit that it has is free credit card processing. All those fees are paid for by Trails End. It's going to help you take real-time tracking and report all of the sales. It can help you with inventory and storefront registrations. Families can turn in cash payments via credit card. It's system calculated. Scouts sell for Trails End, and they also get rewards. So we're rolling out a new Amazon gift card program that I'll be speaking out that I'm really excited, and I know that's going to help motivate your scouts. And we have something, take online direct orders. Last year, the app was able to do show and sells, take orders, and also just share your page online. This year, there's something really neat that's coming out in early July called Online Direct, which I'll be speaking to shortly. I always like to measure things, right, and make sure that we've seen proven results. Over 14,500 units use this app, and over 160,000 scouts. Well, did it work? We saw about 10% growth from units who logged more than 75% of their total sales in the app in 2019. Also, we know consumers are willing to spend more with credit card sales. Credit card transactions average 27% higher than cash. The number one selling cash item, I bet you all can guess, right? It's probably the classic caramel at the $10 bag. Well, if you use credit cards, that was actually the third most popular item. Other items like your white cheddar and so forth were actually more popular. Consumers are willing to spend more money on those items if they have a credit card. Down there's a little text. If you text APP capitalized to 62771, you can download that app. Also, it's in your Google Store and your Apple Store, so you can download it at your convenience there. And the app is for scouts. Go ahead and go to the next slide there, John. All right, so we talk about the app and the easy ways to download it. It accepts all credit cards and debit cards. It's easy. Each scout must have a registered account, but they can use multiple different emails, and you can record all of your sales on that app. Super simple. It's a point of sale platform, and I'm going to talk about some of the improvements here shortly. Go ahead, John. Okay, so we'll talk about the unit leader portal first. One platform to manage your entire fundraiser. So we've pulled together so many different unit leaders from all over the country, and we wanted to really feel what's the easiest way. You know, on average, a unit leader spends between 40 and 80 hours on the sale. That's like a whole season of Game of Thrones if you're binge watching. So we want to make it simpler. This way you can track all your scout sales, easily manage all the app sales and all the online sales in real time. So you can actually see how your show and sell shifts are doing and how the door-to-doors are going, all of your inventory levels. It gives you a huge magnifying glass that you've never had this technology before. You can look at the inventory, track levels. I know of certain unit leaders that, all of a sudden a show and sell is out of white cheddar. Well, they know that because it's selling well through the app. They've gone to that show and sell and replenished with white cheddar themselves, or they've had other volunteers do that to keep up with their inventory levels. You can coordinate all your storefront sites and shifts. So you can invite scouts. Scouts can register there. It just brings other resources that people have been used in the past into one popcorn selling app. People usually use, Sign Up Genius and so forth. We've modeled that technology and we put it into our app. You can also place popcorn orders, order popcorn from your council's scheduled pickups, submit rewards, submit your Trails End rewards, which we'll talk about, the new Amazon Prize program. And the login is at www.trails-end.com at your Trails End account. Go ahead and keep going, John. Trails End improvements. So the app had a lot of feedback that was sent to us at Trails End. So I wanted to highlight some of the ones where we've improved it, right? So we've listened to, the people who are actually using it. So first off, it's faster, more intuitive, and has scout registration. Faster checkout process. It went from 9 clicks to 4 clicks. It's kind of funny. You don't really realize how long it was to sell just one small thing of popcorn. 9 clicks was too long, so we've summed it down to 4. Last, it'll show all the grids, all the product details, all the information there. Record online orders directly through the app. Shareable online cart so a customer can enter shipping addresses and complete payment, and which is great for social distancing. So you could share your page, share it on any type of social media, and people will support your scout there. New undelivered logic for wagon sales so scouts can enter them in incorrectly. So last year we received feedback that the undelivered and delivered was confusing. Scouts may have thought that Trails End was shipping on their behalf and they didn't have to deliver it. Now there's more almost like a warning or a pop-up that will occur. Credit card payment options for parents to pay cash owed to the unit. So if the parent has a ton of cash from going door to door and they can swipe their credit card and reconcile that and not have to turn in the cash, and they could pocket that cash and we can use that credit card to pay off the unit. Improve Trails End rewards to focus on next level goal reaching. So if a scout sets a goal, they can be notifications through the app saying, hey, you're only a couple $100s away from the next Amazon gift card level. Unit leader improvement. So we also improved the unit leader dashboard. On-screen guides to help leaders learn all the unit leader portal features. We consolidated all the scout tables to view quickly, manage orders, inventory, and storefront shifts. We actually kind of cut down on some of the screens there to make it easier for you all to look at. Robust product tables to easily view inventory from storefronts and from scouts. Ability to convert orders between wagon and storefront. Ability to change the shift credited to the storefront order. Okay. All right, so this is one of the most things I'm excited about is the online direct platform. So Trails End's invested a lot into the technology, and we really wanted to bring an online selling platform directly into the hands of scouts. So the best and one of the most preferred way that we feel is going to sell in 2020 due to COVID-19, it's definitely the safest way. Scouts can earn double the points for Trails End rewards. So the Amazon gift cards, you can earn double the points towards those gift cards. There's going to be traditional products and prices. So the opening price point on online direct will be $10. No handling of products, cash, or anything on the unit level. It's actually one of the easiest ways there. New Trails End app online direct features. So it's pretty much a take order in the palm of your hand. You can text an order to a customer to complete a purchase on their phone also. So you can send that information, they can fill it out via their phone, and it'll absorb that information and finish that process. All these products are also popped fresh to order, and they're shipped directly to the customer. So we're going to make these for the specific customer. You can also text my plan to 62771 to download how to sell $1,000 with social business. Go ahead. So how it works, you can either share your page, share your fundraising page via email, text, or social media. We usually see about 2 sales on average every 2 shares. And the average sale price is about $68. Customers click your link to place any type of online orders and products shipped directly to the customers. So that's very similar to what it was last year if you were in the popcorn sale. Sharing for social media. Over 80% of the online sales last year came outside of Georgia's zip code. People have moved to Atlanta for work or for family or whatnot, and they have their friends and family maybe in California or Maine or wherever supporting their scouts adventures through our online platform. Next, the other portion is to take those online direct orders through the app. You your products just like you're selling it. You take the payment, credit or debit, and the products from Trails End will be shipped directly to the consumer. The traditional prices with a shipping fee. Okay.
Hey, Ryan, what is the, how well does it work without, is there an offline setting for the app? Does it work on an offline set?
There's some functionality offline. However, the credit card ability needs to be online because we will not store customer information through the credit card system. Cool. Nora is one of our, which I'll be introducing here shortly. She is one of our admins on our Facebook groups. Highly recommend. I'm going to talk about that here shortly, the Facebook groups. So she's the one who can answer your questions and so forth. Keep going. Accepting credit and debit cards. So one of the easiest ways to grow a sale is just offering the ability for credit cards. Bigger rewards will also happen with this. So Trails End has a new Amazon gift card program. You're going to earn 1.5 points for every dollar sold through credit cards. Trails End wants to help scouts take credit cards because we feel a lot of people are not carrying cash nowadays, so it's harder to fundraise without the credit card ability. And also we know consumers are willing to spend more. So your average order value goes up when you take credit cards. Safer, scouts and popcorn kernels don't have to carry cash. Higher sales, customers spent over 27% more in credit cards versus cash sales and popcorn sales in 2019. Easier, parents don't have to turn in cash sales when they take credit or debits. And hardware, scouts can accept credit and debit with any type of square readers. You don't have to have a square reader though. You can manually type in the information in there. Okay. So Trails End piloted a program last year called Trails End Rewards. Atlanta did a portion of it, but because of the results from the sales and feedback from the scouts, it's going to be the entire program this year. So the neat thing about it is it's Amazon gift card based. One of my favorite things to see on our Facebook groups were what scouts purchased with their Amazon gift cards. You saw the craziest stuff these scouts bought. One scout bought a little mini refrigerator and a recliner for his room, and he made his own scout man cave. So who would have thought stuff like that would have been purchased? Anywhere from keeping up to the hottest trends like slime. Slime was big. Who knew that was going to take off like it did? Scouts loved it. So you can buy whatever he or she wants. Also important when we have both genders selling, right? You can buy whatever you want on Amazon.com. So the way the Amazon gift card program works, there's going to be different point values, and it's going to be totaled up daily inside your app. So if you sell something with cash, you get 1 point. If you sell something with credit or debit, you get 1.5 points. Or if you sell online direct, you get 2 points. So the first value is 400 points at $10. So we feel with COVID-19, one of the safest ways to fundraise is online direct. So we would like to incentivize scouts to try it. We also feel credit cards and debit cards are a great way to grow the sale. If you have that ability, your consumer will use it and will purchase it. If you're like me, I barely carry usually less than $20 on my person, but I have 2 credit cards and a debit card, and I would, easier to purchase. And then you also have the cash, which is another way to fundraise. So you have that portion there. So it goes up from $400, works its way to 600 points, 800 points, 1,000 points, and so forth. On average, councils who used the gift card program last year, their scouts grew an average of 5%. So we saw great growth from nationwide from this prize program. You're going to get a lot of information here. It's super simple. One of the other things is it's very easy to redeem. On average, a unit colonel spends about 10 hours on prizes. That's a lot of time. You have to hand out the prizes. You have to make sure the scout is at the next meeting. If not, that, whatever that drone is rolling around the back of your Tahoe for weeks and weeks till you see that scout. God forbid it comes in the wrong color or something like that, or it breaks, which is even worse. And this just gets you out of the prize program because I want you guys to focus on the sale, focus on your scouts, and then finish, right? You didn't do scouting just to sell popcorn. If you did, please email me. I'd like to offer you a job, probably. Okay. So the prize program is a lot of fun. You will see more information here. I think the next slide here, John, keep rolling for me. Press that next slide. Okay. Yep. So over here, why do scouts love Trails End Rewards? They can earn double points with online direct, bigger prizes, millions of choices on Amazon.com, get prizes faster, and they deliver to their door. Our goal is to have every prize, every gift card in the hand of scouts by December 1st, which is faster than what we've ever had before. Why do leaders love the reward program? What's in it for you guys? The Trails End Leader Portal is a one-stop shop for everything, including online reward ordering. Orders are tracked automatically for leaders when scouts sell with the app, so you don't have to worry about if Johnny sold $200, $300, or whatnot. If he or she is using the app, it's tracked, easy to communicate and manage from face-to-face and online sales. They all count towards rewards. Trails End even helps train and motivate scouts through the app. So there's help information on the app and so forth. As you can see on the left, there's a whole bunch of different levels. It is actually uncapped. So there are scouts out there that sell a ton of money worth of popcorn. Our top selling scout sold over $60,000. They would have gotten 10,000 of that back, or 10%, which would have equated to about $6,000. One of our top selling scouts did this program last year, and he bought a vending machine. I was speaking to that scout. I said, "Oh, that's really neat. You have a vending machine. Are you going to put it in your room so when your friends come over, they can hit like C6 and get some potato chips, you know, and then whatever you guys do, hang out and watch a movie?" He goes, "No, I'm starting a business. I'm putting them all over Virginia, and I'm going to start making money off this so I can pay towards college." And at that point, an Eagle Scout was way smarter than me because I was just thinking about potato chips, right? So it's really neat. Sorry about going on that tangent, but it's fun to see what these scouts purchase. I know it's going to be a motivator. I know your scouts are going to like it. So I see a lot of questions in the chat, so keep firing away. I see Nora, are your fingers hurting yet? I know you're typing a lot, so thank you for helping me there. I'm going to go to the next slide there, John. Okay, this is where I'm going to pass that torch to Nora. Nora is one of our district colonels in Appalachian Trail. She's one of our Facebook admin moderators, and she's one of my favorite volunteers because she has a passion for popcorn and for scouting. So John had this cool idea. I was like, well, let's send Nora one of these prizes so she can kind of model it off and talk to it with the $7. So I'm going to throw it to Nora.
Hi. Yes, I have the problem that I don't drink the Kool-Aid. I bring my own Kool-Aid to the party. That's how I got involved in scouting, and that's kind of what's happened with popcorn as well. But yes, as you know, the Atlanta Area Council does a $750 prize each year. Anybody have one of those hammock pods in their house or in their yard? Because I've got a couple of those at my house. This year, we are doing an adventure backpack, and you see this the statistics right there for it. And like they said, they sent me one so I can show it to you guys. Back up, because there's a little bag, a little pouch here for you to put some, I don't know, snacks. I like snacks. It's a roll top, so it's kind of like, it works like a dry bag, so you can roll it up to close it up. Mine's all puffed up because I decided I'd want to put something in it so that it would look nicer, and I put a blanket in it and it wasn't enough, and then I put some towels in it and that wasn't enough, so I put some more towels in it, and it's finally big enough. You can carry it from the handle here, but you also have the two straps, so you can carry it like a backpack. Not only that, you can also carry the straps this way, so you can carry it like a duffel. And as you can see, it's got elastic on the side so that you can I put my water bottle on here. It holds the Bert Adams summer camp water bottle just fine, but it also holds my Nalgene that I got from Jamboree just fine. So those fit in there too. So every scout who hits 750 earns this prize, and once you hit that 750, you let council know, and they will arrange for you to get that. I'm not 100% clear on the details, logistics of that with everything that's going on, but I'm sure we will figure it out.
Good evening, everyone. Can you all hear me? I don't usually do Zooms too much, but so I am the Atlanta Area Council popcorn colonel for the entire council, and I'm really, really excited to be there. A little bit of introduction. This is kind of like with Samantha, this has been a family affair. My son has been with the Scouts ever since he was a Tiger Cub, and he is going to be a freshman in high school next year. The last 4 years, he's been a top salesman for the entire Atlanta Area Council. 2 years ago, he was number 2 in the entire council. Last year, 2 years ago, he was number 3 in the council. In that time, he sold almost $20,000 over $20,000 worth of popcorn in those 4 years. So the money he has earned has helped him. For example, he went to a camp up in Pennsylvania for a STEM camp, and he was the first scout in his troop to earn the Nova Award because he went to that camp. And that was because the money he earned from doing the scout popcorn. So just like with Samantha, there were lots and lots of benefits. And I have seen him grow from a, small little kind of cute little kid to a kid who basically will ask every single person if they would like to buy popcorn. And he's gotten pretty good at it. And he has upsold. He's learned how to turn a $20 sale into an $80 sale. He has learned how to do everything except tackle somebody, which we've encouraged him not to do. But he's right here with me. My son, DJ Bello. Come on over here. You got pulled. Come in a little closer here, DJ, so they can all see you. There you go. There he is. You say hi, DJ? So,
Hey, DJ.
Is it? So that's the top seller the last 4 years for the Atlanta Area Council. And he's also going to be joining my wife and I as sort of a trainer for some of the scouts. He's kind of a junior training, helping up with some of the ideas that he does, things he has learned, and ideas that he has developed over the years, and just things that have worked for him. What works when you're a Tiger Cub doesn't always work when you're a first-class scout. So he's learned how to kind of use his abilities better and better. He's gotten better. He probably had thousands and thousands of interactions over the last 5 or 6, 7 years selling popcorn. So he's gotten pretty good at it. And we're really excited to have him kind of as a leadership, as one of his things for his advancement in the Boy Scouts is this entire area council popcorn. So we're really excited about it. So thank you, DJ, for being here. You wave, say hi to everyone.
Hi. Okay.
Thank you. So, yeah, I'm excited about being here. And again, this is a family affair for all of us. I'm sort of the face person. My wife is a lot of the, she's a lot of the planning and does all the paperwork. We always like to joke that she's like Eisenhower planning D-Day, and I'm like Indiana Jones. I just sort of make it up as I go along. So yeah, you got to laugh. The jokes don't get any better. But I really appreciate all of you giving me a chance to be the council popcorn. I look forward to kind of the challenges and kind of the how it's going to play out with the coronavirus and the COVID-19. So I thank you very much, Zach and Nora and John for inviting me to this position. And I'm now going to hand it back over to Ryan, who's going to talk some more about the apps and everything else. Thanks.
Great. Thanks, Steve. Awesome. So we talk about registering your unit. So we like to make sure that you guys have the most up-to-date information. We use email a lot to communicate. So if you go to commit now, www.trails-n.com/unit registration. Also, the council has been sending out emails with an Atlanta Area Council specific link. If you click that link, it's very easy to register. Are you new to popcorn? You can create a popcorn kernel account as part of the commitment process. Units also are earning an additional 5% of online direct sales from July 1st to August 15th in the form of Amazon gift cards. So July 1st is when the online direct is starting, and August 15th is when it goes to, and we're going to do an extra 5% commission there in the form of Amazon gift cards, which I'll talk about later soon. But it's extremely important to register your unit. It gives us up-to-date contact information so you hear everything, and also if we have any changes or any adjustments, best form of communication by far. Go ahead to the next slide. And maybe we'll have Zach in the chat link the link for everybody to register and so forth. So let's talk a little bit about some of the traditional product and the online direct product. So we'll start with the traditional product lineup. One of the more popular items we have is the $10 classic caramel corn. That one is one of the biggest sellers out there. People love to purchase that. It's usually about 30 to 35% of the containers sold in each unit. The next one, we have unbelievable butter popcorn ready to eat at $15. So this item came out of a necessity. Because of COVID-19, Trails End and Weaver Popcorn has had many manufacturing issues. We've had to social distance inside of our plants, install plexiglass where people who wouldn't be socially distanced, so no germs can spread. Also with an SQF4 food grade level facility, we have to disinfect every single line after each shift. And there's 3 shifts in a day, and it takes usually about 2 to 3 hours to disinfect the whole facility, which slows down production time. Also, if you look at it, popcorn consumption around the United States has skyrocketed because a lot of people are staying at home, watching Hulu, Netflix, and so forth, rather than going to movie theaters. So we, instead of the microwave popcorn, which is the hardest thing to produce by far, we've pivoted to a $15 ready-to-eat butter microwave bag. I know it's going to be a very popular seller, highly recommend it, and also the price point is important to note. It's only the $15 item, which we thought a $15 item was extremely important. We also have the big bag of white cheddar. So that's over 9 ounces of white cheddar popcorn. We have a new item this year. This is my personal favorite, the Blazing Hot popcorn. It's similar to jalapeno, but has a little bit bolder of a taste. I'm not supposed to say who it's like, but I'm going to. A Flamin' Hot Cheetos, very similar to that. So it's a very Scout-focused item. Doesn't really get on your fingers like Flamin' Hot Cheetos, and it's not so habanero-y, like kind of like jalapeno. It's really, really good. You'll like it. Your consumers will like it. Your Scouts will be excited to sell it, which I think is also extremely important. We have the salted caramel at 25, and which is a great product. Improved flavor, $25. Very, very important there. Cheese Lovers Collection, which will have a full bag of white cheddar popcorn and a full bag of blazing popcorn in it. So if you notice, that one's $35. If you add blazing and white cheddar together, that's $40. So that's a $5 savings to a consumer if they'd like to buy both those packs. That's a lot of how the top selling Scouts like to sell that item. So it's more of a streamlined mix. We want to make sure that we can produce everything for Scouting. If we added a ton of different SKUs, we were afraid our production couldn't meet demand. And that's the worst thing ever, when a unit wants to order popcorn or when a consumer bought it from a Scout and we couldn't produce it. Because of COVID-19, we had to make some of these changes. However, we looked at the military donations, which we'll get to my other point here shortly. You can do $1, you can do $5, you can do any type of military hometown hero donation there. 30 and 50 are 2 of the SKU items, but inside the app, you can take any denomination, which is very important. Those rewards or those donations will go towards the Trails End prize program. So if the Scouts turn in those donations, they can turn that in towards Amazon.com gift cards. So with that being said, we're going to go to the next slide here that's going to show all of the online products and a lot of the online direct products. So the online direct product, there's going to be more than what's going to be shown on this screen. That's going to fluctuate. We're going to run trial runs of different products and so forth. But I wanted to show that there is a lot of similar products and similar price points here. So you're still your $10 classic caramel. There's going to be a popping corn jar at $15, a $15 unbelievable butter ready to eat, the blazing, the white cheddar. We will have microwave available there. There's a 12 pack at $25. Salted caramel, dark chocolate salted caramels. That's a new item at $30. $30 chocolate caramel crunch, $35 chocolate caramel tin, which will be that printed bag in a nice gift tin. This one for your council is going to actually be the Iwo Jima flag, which I think is very neat. On the bottom there, with online direct, customers pay a $7.99 shipping fee, which is flat rate for any of the items, and 99 cents per additional item. So bundles of 2 are $8.98, bundles of 3 are $9.97, and so forth. Products and pricings will be subject to change. If you want to go to the next slide, I think there's a couple more. Okay, so before I talk about these, it's also important to note your coffee, your peanuts, some other chocolate products will be available. We're actually looking into beef jerky. We're looking at a lot of different items. So we're going to be doing trial runs and so forth. If you look at here, there's a $35 cheese lovers bundle, which is what you guys saw in the traditional sale. There's going to be chocolate lovers bundles, which is like 2 chocolatey salted caramels and 1 chocolate caramel crunch. And that also item in its. So you'll see 10 items. You'll see other items, other specialty items on the online store too, with online direct. So that's the product spread there. I want to go to the next slide. Okay. So we'll talk about webinars. Webinars, I think, are one of the best ways to get trained on the popcorn sale. So units that attended last year on average grew 11.2% on their sale. We've made so many different webinars available for unit leaders here. You can go to, depending on the amount of popcorn you sold, you join one of these webinars. 20,000 and up sellers, 7.5 to 20, and new units to units who sold 7,500. We recruited over 25 unit leaders across the country to help run these. We're very proud that these are ran with Trails End and with unit leaders. The first 5,000 units who register to these webinars will receive a $20 Amazon gift card, max one per unit. You must have sold over 7,500 to qualify. Go to www.trailsend.com/webinars to go ahead and register for that. They get more into the technology. So you may be asking yourself as a new colonel, oh my gosh, what do I click or what do I do or something like that? There's information on this webinar to walk you through all the technology. They'll make your life a lot easier if you join this webinar. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Thanks again for all the participation there. It was fun to see my chat just blow up, and I'm over here still trying to figure out who did it. All right, so we talked about Facebook groups. Nora may want to chime in here because she is one of our experts on Facebook. My favorite thing about Facebook, is to see all these unit leaders, over 18,000 people total in all of our Facebook groups, connect and share ideas and share concerns and share frustrations and so forth. It's a very emotional group. It's a very good group for feedback. Also, when it comes to customer service, I think it's one of the best resources. You can literally go in there and you can search any question popcorn related, and I'm pretty confident it's been asked and answered correctly from our admins or from other popcorn kernels. So please join it, get all your questions answered and asked, discover best practices, have access to Trails End information, support, resources, and everything. You'll hear it there on Facebook first, usually. So please join. There's Sean, who's the head of our marketing, and there's Sam, who's a TE admin. And I think, Nora, we're up to like 10 or 12 people on admins. Do you want to chat about Facebook real quick because you're actively involved?
I can't keep track of how many people there are in admins, but there's lots. And the benefit of that is that it means that there is an admin or moderator available pretty much 24/7. We've got people on the East Coast, we've got people on the West Coast. I don't think we have anyone in Hawaii. That would extend the reach a little bit further, but we'll work on that. But like you said, the question that you have has probably already been asked. And if by some chance it has not been asked, if you post it into the group, you will get a dozen answers, most of them the same, from different people almost immediately, because it is such a great way to share knowledge. It's a great way to find ideas. It's a great way to brainstorm on what you might do this year, especially. Yes, Brandy mentioned that there is a documents section. People upload files, templates of things that they use for anything, from communications to marketing to keeping track of sales on paper. Or a great idea last year was the no contest. My scouts absolutely rocked it. The idea being that go for no. The more no's you get, the more yeses you'll get, but you have to get the no's first. So I took that on. I gave them a contest. Whoever had the most no's in every shift got a candy bar, and they loved it. And it made our sales much higher than they would have been with the scouts sitting behind the table and not doing anything.
Yeah, it's just important to note that you don't have to reinvent the wheel, especially if you're a new colonel. It's a great resource. There's information from PowerPoint kickoffs to your unit level to one-pagers on selling techniques and so forth. So important to note there. Great. Please join those Facebook groups. Again, we have over 18,000 unit leaders and volunteers. We hope to be the largest scouting focused Facebook group by the end of the year. So please join. I'd love to see you guys on there, and you'll see Nora post and me post, and maybe John will throw a like, thumbs up, and a couple posts too. Cool. All right, let's keep moving here. Next slide. Okay, so starting selling early. So I saw a couple of chat posts about COVID-19 with storefronts and so forth. And the biggest thing is we want you guys to be safe and comfortable when selling. There are some unit leaders out there that are ready to go, ready to sell in storefronts. COVID-19 may not be as prevalent in their area. And there are some, like we cover New York City, right? We're epicenter, a ton of cases. It's not safe. Online direct or social media is the best way to go. It's up to the unit leader to do what he or she feels best. With that being said, we would like to start the sale earlier. And the easiest thing is it's less work on a unit leader and a unit colonel to do online direct. You just have your scouts download and they can do their best. They can share it. They can go door to door that way. Their parents could bring technically that app to their workplace if they're traveling in for work, and they could purchase popcorn from that. It's a great way to start and a great way to gauge on how popcorn's been going. So that's our recommendation. You don't have to, but there will be a free shipping weekend in July. I think July 4th-ish. So that's a good way to put your toe in the water to see how it works. Scouts who also pledge to do their best by selling 2,500 or more through online direct from July 1st to August 15th will receive an exclusive access to training, webinars, experts in business, marketing, and e-commerce. The first 200 scouts to hit this goal will receive a $200 Amazon gift card. So extremely important. You can take the pledge there. I think it's going to offer some real development with our youth to use technology to sell and to get more familiar with it. At Trails End, one of our questions when we're throughout our job process of hiring new people is, how do you host a webinar? How do you speak with customers online and so forth? So we're really building a lot of these tools up with our technology. So hopefully it can springboard these scouts in their careers. Go ahead and go on. All right, so we talk about the donation program. So we've rebranded it to American Heroes Donation Program. Over $66 million worth of popcorn was donated to U.S. troops all over the years. Last year's purchase was over 129,000 military donations of various values, and then over 2,900 pallets of popcorn was donated to troops all over the United States because of the program. So when you turn in your donations, it's going to a great cause. We partner with a program called Soldiers Angels. They're from San Antonio, Texas. It's a nonprofit. We work with VAs. We work with active, all branches, Coast Guard, Army, Marines, Navy, Air Force, everything. And we donate popcorn because of you all. That's one of my favorite days at Trails End when we start setting up those donations, and we hear people that are very, very happy that a truck full of white cheddar popcorn and a truck full of chocolate caramel crunch is going to their base, and they're going to be able to pass it out to families and people who have served our country. So make sure you're turning those donations. It's going to be a very important program for 2020. And I think this is where I'm going to pass it back off. Key dates are going to go to, who's next there, John? Is it Tanya?
It is.
Hello.
Yes, perfect.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tanya Parks. I'm actually Silver Comet District Colonel. I've been District Colonel for 4 years, and I've been a Unit Colonel for 6. And yeah, popcorn has pretty much covered everything for my scouts. They're now going into first class, and they started as Tigers. The last time I paid for scouts was their Tiger year. And my twins are very competitive against each other. So being a leader, actually seeing what the whole unit's selling makes them more competitive. But for everyone to know, we have the kickoffs, which are actually going to be Zoom kickoffs. There's going to be 4 of them. So each unit can actually figure out which one. These are all Saturday dates for the Zoom kickoff. First one is July 18th. Then we've got another one August 1st. And then we've got 2 more July 725. Those are usually for East and West districts. So that way it's more localized. Usually those are done at the service center or at one of the districts, but because of COVID, it looks like we're doing them Zoom this year. Hopefully we can get in to see each other eventually. The show and sell orders are actually going to be due on Thursday, August 27th. So you want to get those orders in. If you can get them in the day before, that's even better, less traffic, things like that. The show and sell distribution, if you've been a colonel before, you know how those work. They're usually early morning, or it depends on your district where it happens and what time it happens, but they're all the distribution for show and sell is not September 12th, which is another Saturday. And remember, you do need to pick up your popcorn. We don't want to have to take it back to council and have you pick it up there. Please come pick up your popcorn on that day. Then we also have your take order. That's your final order. That's the last order you make, and that's hopefully when everybody turns everything in. Now, online is still going to be available usually, but that's the take order, your physical delivery popcorn. You want to place that order on October 29th. You can get it in earlier, the better, fewer problems. And if you do run across a problem, we can call your colonels. We can probably work you through and help you through it. I don't want to. Last year I had about 7 people calling me at 9 o'clock at night on the due date, trying to order their popcorn. Try and get it in early. The earlier, the better. I also recommend collecting your orders from your scouts about a week before, because someone always forgets. Your take order distribution, where we actually pick up our popcorn. Again, please come get your popcorn. It's November 14th. That's another Saturday. It's always a crazy day, but it's a fun day. We always have fun on the distributions. Then you also have your final payment due to council. That's usually also the last day and cutoff for when you have your 750 club prizes. You want to have all those turned in by that date, and your payment to council. Please have your payment. You can pay early if you want. Council has no problem with that. But yes, December 3rd is another Thursday. Please get that in as soon as you can for council. You also want to be turning in any your prize, any of your top seller names or anything like that also need to be turned in. Is there anybody have any questions about your distributions or sell order? I recommend getting hold of your local district colonel, and they can give you more detailed information of how their distributions work for their district, because it is different for every district. And I think next is going to be Nora talking about commission structures.
Yes, everybody's favorite topic, money, right? That's what we do this for. You know, let's not sugarcoat it. We sell popcorn so that we can earn commissions. Yes, there's a lot of great benefits, and in addition to just the funds, but bottom line, that's what we do. So the base commission for your sales is going to be 30%, and that's what we've done in the past, and that's still going to be the same. You have the opportunity to earn up to a 5% bonus commission, and there are 4 things that you need to do. You need to attend a popcorn kickoff, which, being that they're on Zoom, should make it much easier because you don't have to drive down to the Volunteer Service Center or one of the other locations that we've used in the past. Attend a virtual training. That's one of those webinars put together by Terrell Zen. You want to attend one of those. Ensure 80% of your unit sale is logged through the Trails End app or the online platform. That does not mean that you have to have the app downloaded on every Scout's device. It just means that your sales need to be entered into the system, which the colonel can enter sales, right, Ryan? They can still enter sales. Yeah. So what it's saying is that you want to basically put at least 80% of your sales into the colonel portal, instead of when you go to order your popcorn, adding extra popcorn based on stuff that you have on paper that you've collected from Scouts. So as long as it's entered into the system as individual items, either through the Scout putting it into the app or the colonel entering individual sales into the portal online, it counts towards that 80%. And then you want to pay your popcorn balance on time. One of the benefits of the whole credit card system is that the charges that are made with credit cards, because Trails then processes those, they actually count towards your balance right away. So you're actually already paying your popcorn balance as you're making your sales. And then once your balance is paid off, then you can request the funds to be deposited into your account. So imagine that your entire sale was to be done with credit cards. You wouldn't have to worry about that popcorn balance being paid on time because it was done as you made your sales throughout the season. So those are very easy requirements to be able to get that extra 5%. And then your online commission, if you sell online, you receive a 35% commission. And next we are going to Cassie about making your campaign pop.
Good evening. John, thank you for giving me a chance to kind of share with everybody some of my experiences. I have been involved with popcorn sales since my son was a tiger, and he's currently a rising 10th grader in Boy Scouts. So this is something we've done for a while. And I'm gonna laugh. You guys are gonna walk with me because my battery's getting low on my laptop. And I just want to give you a couple ideas as to what we've seen our unit, well, really units, top going from Cub Scouts up to Boy Scouts, but what we've done to kind of make things a little smoother, a little bit bigger, and just hopefully a very successful campaign. And the first thing I want to say is attitude's contagious. So as Popcorn Kernel, if you can be excited about this program and not try to, you know, sometimes people want to go, oh, we've got to do a fundraiser, it'll help with this. That negative tone sometimes can turn some people off very quickly. So if you can come in and be excited and share with them, you know, the fun that they're going to have, give the boys small challenges. I think sometimes we want to really emphasize, you know, $2,500 is, you know, this big goal over here. And those are great, but sometimes they're too big. So if we can start with smaller goals, and get the boys excited, and especially the younger ones, make them realize that it's a little bit scary, but it's not that hard to get out and start asking people or calling that family member, or, you know, getting mom or dad to kind of help through social media. And it gets contagious for them. Some of the things we've done is we've tried to put some small goals together. It could be as simple as, you know, showing that you've done your very first sale. And we'll recognize them at our weekly meetings. And the unit, you know, I'll probably keep saying troop because that's where I am now, but pack or troop, we would have, you know, a small prize for the boy just for like, hey, look, Billy's gotten out there. He started doing this. He's got a candy bar or whatever it might be. But they get excited. They get excited for being recognized. They get excited for getting a reward, and then they want to go out and do it some more. So I'm a big proponent on making it fun and making it exciting. Another thing as unit colonels I want you to think about is create a popcorn committee. The more people that you can get to help you, the easier it's going to be. And if you ask individuals to help with a specific task, you have a much better chance that they're going to say yes than if you just stand up in front of a group of parents and say, we need help. It's very easy for everyone to feel like somebody else will step up and help when it's asked in a general sense. But if you can, you know, if you can ask a parent who maybe, you know, has some availability, if they'd be willing to call some certain stores, if your unit wants to do show and sells, maybe you have a list of stores you've worked with in the past, and you could give that parent that list and those phone numbers. That seems very doable for somebody who hasn't gotten involved before. So thinking of ways to break up some of your responsibilities and ask people to help tends to get more yeses than when we go to that general crowd. The other thing I was kind of thinking about was our units have been very successful with show and sells. And as we've talked about tonight, we don't know what show and sells are going to look like this year, and we don't know how many of them we'll even be able to have. So trying to think of new ways to incentivize that maybe goes a little bit more with that online direct or online sales. And one of the things that was mentioned to me by someone was a 50-state challenge. And that is, you know, motivating the boys to see if they can get sales in all 50 states. And again, I think if you start that smaller and say, you know, hey, the first scout that brings in an out-of-state order, you know, gets a prize, or you know, when you get to 5 states or 10 states, just give them those attainable goals And then they'll kind of get caught up in it and kind of keep that ball rolling. So just kind of, reaching out to, those around you and saying, hey, what have you done? I think you'd be surprised with some new ideas. For those who maybe are new and aren't really sure when they're getting started or what they're doing, the last thing I wanted to say as far as just kind of tips I've seen is that when our units started setting up their show and sells more midsummer, they found more success with getting those set up. The availability was there. It gave the stores time to talk to the manager or get the permission from whoever they needed it. So I think sometimes units wait too long to go set their show and sells up, and then they find it's hard to get some of the locations they want. Again, we don't know this year. My unit has not called anyone yet. We are kind of letting COVID settle down a little bit more before we approached our stores to see what their stance was going to be. But even if that tip doesn't work for this year, it may work in the future. So I wanted to share that with you. And then the only other thing that I was going to kind of just bring up, which I know has already been said, is the Trails End webinars. These are great ways to, get tips, get ideas, learn about the app. I think Ryan mentioned the ones for the leaders, but if I'm not mistaken, there's also some short webinars that they're going to do for parents, which probably, is a great place for brand new parents or maybe parents who have been around but haven't really played in the popcorn world. I think they're like 20 minutes. So I would definitely encourage you to encourage your parents to check those out. I think they're like late July is when they're doing those. Ryan can correct me if I've got those wrong in my head.
Yeah, you were 100% right. For Scout parents and people, boots on the ground that are selling, it's a great way, and resources. We'll all have top selling Scouts at both Boy Scout and at the pack level, troop and pack level in there. So thank you for bringing that up. That's awesome.
Perfect. Yeah, it's, the more places you can kind of hear and listen and talk to people, I think you find new ideas that just, you find, oh, I can do that, or we can adapt that and it works great for our unit. So I hope some of these bring some new ideas to everybody. And thank you for giving me the chance to kind of share what I've got. And I think, Ryan, we might be back to you again.
Okay. Yep. And make sure you guys are still kind of going through that chat and asking any questions. So contacting support. So Trails End has multiple different ways where you can receive information. So first, we talked about the Facebook groups. That's my favorite one, and I think you get the quickest response. So please join those Trails End communities if you are active on Facebook. You can visit our website, trails-end.com. The website has been upgraded this year. There's 3 different little avenues there. There's one to create a Scout registration, one for a unit leader, which will have information and resources similar to that Facebook page where there's documents you can download or resources you can look at. And then the third is like the consumer, where they would go on to buy popcorn to support a Scout. So it's like 3 little phases of our website. We do have a support system. So support@trails-end.com. You can email that. It's a ticket-based operating system. So please email that with questions. Those can be more questions you may not want to ask on Facebook. If it's something, a unit that's very specific to your unit, like there's an issue with an inventory or there's an issue with a gift card, that's probably your best resource. And then www.support.trails-end.com for our FAQs. We are going to update those FAQs after more of our webinars because we're hearing a lot of the similar questions. So we're going to make sure those are available. And I'll have John, well, actually, John, do you want to go through your staff and members and who to reach out for what in your council, so the area council contact info?
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate it, Ryan. For those that don't know me, I just want to introduce myself. I'm John Ingram, the product sales staff advisor. I was a top seller when I was a kid. I was not as good as DJ Steve, but I did sell 2,500 3 years in a row. So I'm gonna take that to the bank. But I'm really excited to have popcorn this year. Zach Fisher, who you guys heard from earlier, is the popcorn coordinator, or whatever he's calling himself these days. Gonna come up with a better name. But Zach is also the Button Gwinnett district executive as well. So, and also we have Mary Chester on the call, recent Silver Beaver Award recipient. So congrats again on that, Mary. But Mary is a longtime product sales volunteer in Appalachian Trail and is our product sales admin. And to be honest with you, she's going to be the quickest responder. So, Faye, I see you, Faye. I just got called out in the chat. Mary's going to be the quickest response, so always reach out to her, but feel free to reach out to Zach or myself as well. But the Atlanta Area Council Popcorn website is also getting updated currently with some new documents, so just keep an eye out for that. And all of these things, including this video and the PowerPoint, is going to get uploaded to that website. So just make sure to take a look at that. So Ryan, I'll throw it back to you.
Cool. All right, let's go to the next slide. Thank you, John. Okay, so we talk about some more resources here. You can see there's going to be information. This is just kind of a little, it'll be clickable. So we want to make sure you guys have a ton of resources. So there's going to be a kernel guide. So it's going to go through step-by-step instructions on the app. Excuse me. And all of our technology, all of our rewards, and all of our upgrades. So it's a great way to resource and look through all those different benefits. We've created a PowerPoint where you can use for your kickoffs. I've heard a lot of units are meeting on Zoom and so forth, kind of similar to what we're doing, so you can use that there. We've already talked about the webinars. Critical you guys go on there. It's going to be, it might feel like a lot of information today because it was a lot of information. It might be helpful to hear it multiple different times. Those webinars, a lot of them are at 6:30 p.m. Some of them are at 9:30 p.m. for the West Coast. Or any of you guys that are night owls, you can go on there and learn and pick specific days that work for you and your schedule. And Facebook groups. Again, it's a big community with over 18,000 people. Highly recommend you get on there to ask questions and to learn more about it. So how can you help your scouts? Well, what resources should you point them towards? First off, the app. So link to download the Trails End app. We feel it's one of the best resources out there. It's got training in it. It's really, really easy. One of the interesting things we've done at Trails End was like a beta test on how easy the app was. We invited over 100 Cub Scouts to try it. We gave them all smartphones. 95 out of 100 can complete a sale without any formal training. So hopefully we built it so it's user-friendly. We've done upgrades there. There's going to be an app guide. We got feedback on the last year that, hey, maybe a little PDF with a couple pages on how to do certain things might help. So we've created that. We've done the My Plan and how to sell $1,000 social distancing, which can be important if your unit doesn't feel like storefronts are the best avenue or the safest avenue, depending on where you're located. So that sells like, you know, pick out 20 contacts in mom or dad's phone, send them a text message with your link to support popcorn, go door to door if that's available for you, and certain things like that. That might be a good resource. Join the parent Facebook groups. There's going to be the reward flyer and take order forms. I know somebody asked about forms. Those are being printed this week, and we will figure out the best way to distribute to them. Might be something that we talk to the council on further, the safest way and the easiest way to drop those forms off to your unit. But we will be in touch about that. But those are being printed here this week. But it's important to note, take order form is available on the app. Technically, you don't need that piece of paper, but I still see value in it because not everybody has a smartphone, and also the prizes are on there, so it's nice for us to look at. So I totally get it. That's why we're never going to go away from that form, but it's important to note that the app has everything on that form that a scout would need to fundraise.
You know, we just say thank you guys for joining us, and you know, our meeting is adjourned.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much for joining, everyone.